Welcome back to the Ed Show and the big finish tonight. The Superpac scam is exposed for all it's worth. Since Stephen Colbert is now running for president of the United States of South Carolina, he is legally required to give up his Superpac. He decided to transfer his Superpac to his buddy Jon Stewart. Colbert even had his lawyer on set to advise him.
I assume there's reams of complicated paperwork to be executed before we transfer the reins of power over something as critical to our very foundation of democracy as a super PAC.
And Trevor, I brought the one document with me.
I sign here.
I see. Very interesting.
Okay.
All right.
And then I believe you sign there.
Okay. I'd be happy to do that. Is there any sense, by the way, how much money we have in this thing? Because I certainly, as the guy who's running it,
that is
I
how
would...
much No. Later. Trevor, if you will.
Colbert Super PAC transfer activate.
Pretty funny stuff, but scary as well, because it actually reflects our campaign finance system. When President Obama spoke out against Citizens United 2 years ago, you have to wonder if he envisioned it getting this bad this soon.
With all due deference to separation of powers, last week the Supreme Court reversed a century of law that I believe will open the floodgates for special interests, including foreign corporations, to spend without limit in our elections.
Let's turn to Vermont Senator, Independent Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator, if it takes the ridiculous to get the attention of the American people, it is a good thing. But it is a ridiculous system that we have right now when it comes to financing campaigns, and I think that that is a very telling piece of videotape, the president speaking, and, of course, Sam Alito, the justice, shaking his head against it. It's pretty telling right now. How do we fix this? What's the impact of this?
Well, I tell you, Ed, it's not just ridiculous. It is very, very dangerous. And the constitutional amendment that I've offered to overturn Citizens United is called Saving American Democracy. And I think I'm not overstating the case. We are moving in a direction in which corporations not only will be able to spend as much money as they want, like they can today in terms of ads, radio and television ads, but you're looking at the day when corporations will be able to provide as much money as they want to individual candidates. So you're looking at a situation where the political process, like every other commodity in America, is going to be owned and controlled by the wealthiest and most powerful people in this country, and that to a significant degree is the loss of American democracy, as many of us understand that to be.
How do the American people combat this in the election season? I mean, you can social network, you can boots on the ground, you can get the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker to give $10, $5, whatever. But this really opens the floodgates for corporations to own the White House and the government. Or is that an overstatement?
No, that is absolutely not an overstatement. And here's what I think we can do. I think there are some pieces of legislation that we should be voting on in the Senate and the House that could, to some degree, diminish the horrendous impact of Citizens United. For example, if I put an ad on television as a candidate, I have got to say I approve this piece of legislation, this advertisement. If a CEO of a large corporation is paying for an ad, that CEO should also be on TV saying he or she approves that ad. If that is the case, trust me, these guys will not be running that many ads. Second of all, we've got to get foreign money. Right now, you could have a company significantly owned by Chinese interests putting TV ads on for or against a candidate for the United States Senate or the House of Representatives. Does anybody think that makes sense? So there are short-term approaches that we can utilize in order to diminish Citizens United. Long-term, in my view, we need to pass a constitutional amendment which overturns this absurd Supreme Court decision that says a corporation is a person. Interestingly, Ed, I was pleased to see that John McCain, whom I do not usually agree with, regarded Citizens United, just stated the other day that Citizens United was one of the worst decisions he has ever seen. I think he's right.
Well, I was going to ask you, is there any momentum building on the other side of the aisle? Are there any Republicans out there that see how damaging this is and taking the voice away from the little guy in this country? I mean, that's what made America great, is that we had voices heard from all sides and from all parts of society. And now they're being squashed. And now, of course, you've got Newt Gingrich squawking about it during this campaign. I mean, it would seem to me that somebody would see the light, even on the Republican side.
Well, maybe McCain has opened that door. He was very strong in his statement, calling it one of the worst decisions he has ever seen. And I'll tell you something. In my view, I think it is not just progressives or Democrats who regard the Supreme Court decision as absurd and dangerous. I think you have people all across this political spectrum. Ed, how many people do you know who think that ExxonMobil is a person entitled to First Amendment constitutional rights in the political process?
Exactly. And if Colbert and Stewart can help people get people's attention on the seriousness of this, I'm all for it, because it could damage this country. Senator Sanders, thanks for being with us tonight. I appreciate it so much.